Hi there, this is Jim Becker with the Catholic Charities Online Training System, and welcome back to today's session, which we will be covering the Android smartphone, going over calendar sync and display. Today's training agenda is going to be going over specifically just for the Android phone, how to go over changing calendar settings, syncing with Google Calendar, display settings, and view settings. Let's get started. So in changing calendar settings, you go in and you click on Menu, then click on Settings, and then click on General Settings. And as you can see in the general settings, there's many things that we can change in here, and you want to set these up. These are settings that would be specific for your phone. They won't affect your desktop calendar or how other people might interact with it. These are settings that you're setting for your phone. And so what you want to be able to do is if you have on your phone, if you've declined an event, you want to make sure that you're able to hide it. You might be concerned about what week number it's on or what week uh, when your work week starts, specifically on how it shows on your phone. Um, the one thing here is you have two different time zones. You have the home time zone, and then you can actually use that home time zone to your advantage. So if you're actually traveling, let's say from California, which is on the Pacific time zone, and you're now in Mountain time zone, or maybe you're all the way in Eastern time zone, is you can change your home time zone to where you're at, rather than just what it is where everybody else thinks you might be at if you were, say, sitting at your desk in California. Uh, you have a possibility to clear your search history. You can actually even just use search just to find things, but here you can actually clear it. You have the ability to change your notifications, how you get notified. Is it going to still show up on your phone as a pop-up, or does it send it as an email? You can certainly change those on your phone. Remember, this is how your phone behaves, not your regular desktop Google Calendar settings. You can actually choose your ringtone, so that way when you have an event that comes in, it can actually notify you with a ringtone, as well as with your pop-up notifications as well, and then any default reminder time. So you can still change that to whatever time zone, whether it's 10, 15, 1 day, whatever time reminder that you would like to set on your phone. And then the really great thing here is they've got the ability for you to be able to put in quick responses like, thank you so much for this event. Any response that you want to have, you're able to put in some quick responses, so that way you do not necessarily have to keep texting everything in every time when somebody sends you something through the Google Calendar settings. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is we want to get your calendar, your phone, synced up with the calendars. Otherwise, everything else that we talk about, you'd be lost with. So here, what you would do is go in and into the calendars, click at the bottom of the screen. You'll see calendars to sync. Go ahead and click that at the bottom of the screen. And from there, you'll be able to view all the calendars that are available for syncing and display. And they'll be grouped by each of your accounts, and they should match exactly what you have in your Google system with the Catholic Charities San Bernardino Riverside account. Now you can collapse or expand the list of calendars. Just touch the name of the account and it'll display those calendars there. And if you want to display and sync it, you'll see that there's an option for the checkbox. Go ahead and check that. Please note that you can sync a calendar without always having to display it. You just leave the checkbox checked and then keep moving on to the next step. You don't have to view every calendar. Any calendars that are checked are also listed in the calendars to display screen, where you can choose to display them or not. And again, once you're done, select OK or touch OK, and your phone will be on its way to getting synced up with your Google Calendar. Once you're in sync, all the calendars that are on your desktop computer will now also be displayed on your phone, and vice versa. You can now change which calendars gets displayed, and you go and do that by touching Menu and Calendars to Display. Uh, Typically, have your primary calendar as your main display calendar, but you can certainly bounce back and forth if you have multiple calendars that you're using, especially if you're out in the field. Then you have a list of calendars that will be synced with your phone, and then you can go ahead and touch the calendar that you want, or you can hide it, depending on what you want, and then go ahead and keep moving forward. Now here's the part that we all want to be able to use our phones for. How do I view the calendars and events, in particular for today, maybe for tomorrow, and how do I start getting those things to work? So how you do that is open up Calendar by touching the Home or All Apps screen and touch the calendar icon. The calendar will then display the events from your phones that have been synced up, and it'll go with that primary calendar that you set just moments ago. Events from the calendar will be displayed in that calendar's color. So if you have multiple calendars synced up with yours, they will still show up with the same color coding that you set on your desktop unit. And then go ahead and then click on Menu, Calendars to Display if you want to look at a different calendar. Now the calendar is going to show the current time by a black horizontal line in the day and week views, and the event times of your local time zone as provided by your mobile network. So the nice thing here is if you're somewhere in a different time zone, it will actually show it'll automatically adjust the event to where that event was set, not based off of where you're at. So it does take into account the time differences. But the one thing you can do is you can set up that custom home time zone by going into the general settings as we mentioned before. Now to search in Calendar, touch Menu and then click on Search. And then you can search for terms, or what's really cool is you can touch the microphone icon and then speak what you're looking for into your phone. And then it'll automatically go through and search all of your calendars for the item that you are looking for. Now to manually synchronize all your calendars, touch Menu and Refresh. This is kind of nice, especially if you've made several recent changes to your calendar and you just want to make sure that you're able to view those. Again, just touch Menu and then Refresh. Please note that refreshing the calendar does involve your data connection for your local phone carrier, so if you do have data charges, know that those will take effect. To change a calendar view, there's several different views that you can have. You have day, week, month, or agenda tabs in the upper left. To switch to a day view, you just simply touch on day, and then it's going to basically show you the day broken down by every half hour with a black line scrolling through, basically telling you this is where you're at in the course of your day. You can pinch two fingers together to zoom in vertically, or spread them apart to zoom out. Swipe left or right to view previous or future days, and when you see an event that you want to know a little bit more about, all you have to do is touch it. Now if you decide we want to go to a week or a monthly view, select either the week or month view in that same upper left hand side. And again, pinch two fingers together to zoom in vertically or spread them apart to zoom out. Swipe left or right to view the previous or future days. And again, touch an event to view its details. The agenda view, which if that's what you desired, you can go ahead and select that in the upper left hand side as well. But what agenda view is, it gives a list of your events in chronological order. And you need to know that all day and multiple day events are listed at the start of each day, and days without events are not shown. So if you don't have any appointments for Wednesday, Wednesday will not show up in this. It's not broke, it's just designed that way. It's going to show your events, not the days. And it'll also give you that same black line indicating where today begins. Swipe up or down to view previous or future events. If you want to look into the details of an event, again, all you have to do is touch the event to view its details. So, while somewhat complicated, and as frustrating as it can be getting your phone set up, we've been able to go in and talk about how do we sync up our phone, how do you change your calendar settings, how do you display your views, and ultimately how can you start using this, looking at your phone and having it integrated and synced up with your desktop unit using the Google Gmail system. Thank you so much for coming today. We will have an open forum for this as well as we'll be glad to handle your calls one-on-one. Thank you so much for coming today. Look forward to talking to you in the future.